Everyone. Welcome to the Health and Hygiene webinar organized by Crowd Product. Crowd Product is the pioneers in new age customer engagement. This series of webinars have been organized especially in these difficult and challenging times where most of us are under lockdown or are stressed out because of COVID and Corona pandemic. And we are seeking solutions not only on the work front but also on the health and so that is the main topic of the webinar, the series, which is going to happen over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Today we have Mukund with us, who is an engineer by profession. He works in the supply chain operations based out of California. He has been introduced to the Art of Living program in Bangalore. The basic principle of Art of Living is good health, good nutrition, and good meditation. And he has pursued it with passion. And when he shifted base to California, he took advanced training. And today he's a volunteer and he shares the knowledge on a volunteer basis with people across in California region. So Mukund, welcome to the webinar. And like I was telling you, Mukund, that the concern amongst most of us across the globe is uh, uh, a loss of stress on the financial and on the job front, in case we have entrepreneurs on the business front, uh, but also stress on our physical activity. Like we have very limited activity in terms of exercise or any other passion which we have been pursuing in terms of sports, because we are quarantined or we are locked down inside our homes and we don't have access to much of resources outside. So our physical activity is restricted, and at the same time, we are working from home. Most of us are new to the concept of working from home, and we are not able to schedule it properly in terms of a discipline. And so various issues are coming up. We have stiff, a stiff body, or we have stressed out minds. We are also handling a lot of domestic chores, which is adding to the country. So, what would you suggest as to how do we handle this time, these difficult and challenging times? Do you think so? Something like breathing exercises or pranayam or meditation or a few yoga positions while at the desktop.
This day's Art of Living teacher is going to do meditation later.
Hi. Thanks, Natarajan, for the introduction. Yeah, I personally have found meditation to be a lot helpful, more than ever now, given that we're all staying indoors. And for me, I actually stay alone, so I've not actually met or seen anyone for the last 3 weeks. We've been in shutdown here. And so just to talk about stress a bit, if you look at it from the level of the mind, I would define stress as the mind simply not being in the present. Like the mind has this tendency to wander. It sometimes goes to the past and it sometimes goes to the future. And when it goes to the past, it's usually regret, sadness, anger, or hate, or whatnot. And when it goes to the future, it's generally anxiety, which is what a lot of us are feeling now. Like we feel like there's too much to do, and we don't know if we'll be able to, take care of ourselves or take care of our family, or there's a lot of uncertainty which puts our mind to the future. And when the mind goes to the future, we become unproductive, because the most productive that we can be, or the most happy we can be, is right here and now, right? So if there is an easy trick to bring the mind back to the present that would help us de-stress or help us be in the present and be more focused. And the trick is, if you've observed your breath, anytime your breath you experience a negative emotion, or you experience not negative or any emotion, for example, or for anger, for example, our breath pattern changes. Right? We breathe faster. It's short and fast. and we actually have a physical sensation associated with. Sometimes we feel the heat here, the heat, for anger, and for example, sadness. Sadness, our exhalation is more pronounced. We don't inhale much; we sigh more. And sometimes when the sadness gets too much, it kind of chokes us in our throats. So the same with every emotion. Every emotion that we observe, it has a unique breath pattern to it. And when we're calm and happy, the breath is just freely rolling, right? We don't even notice the breath. So we can use the breath as a tool to kind of help the mind come back to the present. And when the mind is in the present, it is automatically in a de-stressed or in a happier state, and it's more focused. Meaning, there's nothing we can do to change the external circumstances right now, but we have all the power within us to bring our mind to the present and to stay focused and do what is needed at our hands right now to move on. And if for example, if you look at children don't get stressed, right? Because if you were to give if you were to give a child a piece of chocolate and piece of mind, what do you think the child will take? Obviously, the piece of chocolate, right? Because the child has not experienced disturbance.
Yeah.
As we've grown, we've formed an intellect, we've formed a memory, and there's a lot of stress and trauma that we go through in our lives that has kind of been accumulated on it. And that causes us to look at things in a certain way, which is not actually how it is. Yeah, and I would call doing these practices as mental hygiene, like how you have dental hygiene since this webinar is like health and hygiene. We can see the accumulation of dirt and stress in our teeth outside, and we're able to clean it. But then throughout our life, we've accumulated dirt and stress in our minds, and we've not been taught a proper technique to clean that up. And that's what breath, breathing, pranayama, meditation does for us.
That's good. That's good. It's a very very new concept, mental hygiene, and using breathing as a tool. Well, for a person who is passionate about it, who has been trained, it's very easy for you to say. Right? So, could you share some tips for us? Like, okay, I'm at my desk, I'm working 8 hours, working from home. Tomorrow it could be a scenario where I could be working from the office also. But yes, primarily today's scenario, I'm working from home. In the earlier scenario, I used to get some kind of a break where I go to the coffee machine, have a coffee, or chit chat with a few friends or colleagues and have a break. But right now, I don't have that. So, what do you suggest I do at my desk to manage my stress? Like, we get lost in the work, we don't know how to take breaks, and even if we take breaks, we don't know what to do during these breaks. So, would you suggest some exercises or activities which we can do at our desk at frequent intervals, or whatever you would suggest? You are the expert.
Sure. Actually, there are a few very simple breathing techniques that I can teach that can help you in different situations. But before we get into breathing, I want to do some breathing 101. I just want everyone to place one hand on the chest and the other hand on the stomach. Now, let's close our eyes and take deep, full breaths in. And as you breathe in and breathe out, observe how your chest and your stomach moves. With the in-breath, how does it move? And with the out-breath. Deep, full breaths. Okay. And relax your hands. You can open the eyes. So, how many of you observed, if you've observed that as you breathe in, both your stomach and your chest expanded, then you're doing it right. The natural way of breathing is diaphragmatic breathing. But sometimes what happens is because of stress, we sometimes start to pull in our stomach as we breathe in, and we limit our ability to take in breath. Breath is a huge source of our energy. We don't realize that, but we take in, I don't know, some thousands of liters of air every day, but compared to the amount of food, and it's driving our whole engine. It's driving our whole system, and it's important to utilize it completely. So just be aware of your breathing to start with. Make sure that you're expanding your stomach, expanding your chest as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, collapsing it. The best way to observe or learn is to watch a baby. Babies do everything right. If you watch a baby breathing in, it's like the whole stomach is pumping in and out. So that's simply called diaphragmatic breathing. So that's breathing 101. Now we can do a couple of breathing exercises for different situations. So if you feel you're very cluttered in the mind and you want some clarity or some balance, the alternate nostril breathing, pranayam is a very effective one. We breathe alternatively through the different nostrils. Each nostril is connected to either side of the brain, the different lobes, and it helps balance both sides. Sometimes our left side and our right side do different functions, and for I think that the left brain is connected to the intellect, the right brain is connected to the intuition. So when we over exercise one side of the brain, there's imbalance, right? That's what we're all doing on our computer and all of that. So we can actually practice alternate nostril breathing maybe for a few rounds, and I can demo it. Everyone's able to hear, right? I can start the demo. So to start with, place your index finger, middle finger at the bridge of the nose, and when you do this, your thumb is free to open and close your right nostril. Your ring finger, small fingers, free to open and close the left. So breathe in, close the right nostril, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left, close the left, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right, close the right, breathe out through the left. You can close the eyes if you got it. Breathe in left and out right. In right and out left. And continue at your own pace, taking full deep breaths. Alternating the nostril on every out breath. Relax your hands. You can feel the drum. And whenever you feel like it, you may gently open the eyes. How was that?
That was very good.
Yeah, do you feel a difference in your state of mind?
It's much more calmer.
Yeah.
I have a question here. Like,
Yeah.
we have, is it just me on my sinuses, or do the nasal passages are always balanced in both the nostrils? Like,
No. At any point in time, one nostril is usually more predominant than the other. You'll see that you're able to breathe in more in one, and that is kind of like an indicator of which side of your brain is more active.
okay.
So and it keeps switching every few hours. It keeps switching, and sometimes both are the same. It's just how our body is. So this is something very simple and powerful. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. When we do this, so do we bring in a balance to both the nasal passages, or is it okay to have one which is more dominant?
It is totally okay. It is what it is. It's totally okay. This helps in balancing, and you continue with however it is. Just continue.
Okay.
And this is a very simple and easy thing to do that you can do at your desk anywhere. And if you need a 5-minute break, and instead of going for a coffee, this is actually much more powerful and and helpful.
And we can
Yeah.
do it at a desk. We just push back a chair, and we can do it right at our
Yeah.
desk. We don't
Yeah.
have to sit down and cross our legs. Just be relaxed. Oh,
Just
that's
be
good.
relaxed. Yeah, just be relaxed and try to have your spine straight. Like if you have a backrest, that's fine. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the only posture requirement. Otherwise,
Yeah. Meaning so that the breath is easy to go in and out. If you're sleeping or if you're crouching, it's harder for the breath to go fully in and out. So having the spine erect is the best position.
that's fantastic.
So this I'm not sure what was planned, but if we can do a guided meditation, if I can talk a little bit about meditation next, and we can do a guided meditation with the breathing exercise. If
Yeah, we can do that. But we've also been having questions about nutrition. Like,
okay.
Since the cycles have all gone erratic, we are not very sure what is the kind of food we should be consuming during this stressful times. Are there any superfoods which help us bust our stress, or do we just stick to a normal diet, or something we should avoid? Because physical activity to a large extent is restrained now. So you have suggested exercise, the breathing exercise for at the desk, which can help us calm our mind. Do you recommend anything in food patterns?
So there's a lot of like basic knowledge, good knowledge about food. I personally done some workshops with Ayurveda, which is so what I've come to understand is there are 3 main body types, and different people fall under different categories. And for different body types, there are different foods that agree with them better and disagree with them better. So to start with, if you want to be totally holistic, I would recommend kind of understanding what your body type is. If now that we cannot go to a Vaidya, traditionally what we do is we go to an Ayurvedic Vaidya, and they check your pulse. And just with checking your pulse, it's called Nadi Vaidya. And just by checking your pulse, they'll be able to tell you whether, what body type is you are under, and what kind of foods you should take and what kind of foods you should avoid. So for me, I'm a Pitta, which I believe most entrepreneurs would be, because they're the high achievers, the perfectionists, and who are always on the run and who want to lead and who want to, do bigger things. So for us, avoiding spicy food, there are certain avoiding beans. I don't want to specify something that is it could be incorrect for different people.
Okay.
But in general, so there's something that applies to everyone is the circadian rhythm, meaning aligning our bodily functions with nature. So, we just like nature has a rhythm, our body has a rhythm. In the mornings, getting up before 6 is ideal, because after 6, the energy of what is called kapha. After 6, our sluggishness starts to increase. So if you notice, on days when you wake up early, you feel fresh. On days, say you slept a little extra and you wake up at 9, 10, you feel sluggish in the mind. And the whole day is kind of sluggish. And it disrupts the whole cycle, like the whole day. So waking up at the right time, eating at the right times, so breakfast and like around noon, 1 to 2, when the sun is at its peak, that's when even our digestive powers are at their peak. So when we take in food at that time, it's easily digested. When having fresh food that's easily digestible is the simple trick.
Oh, very good.
And not having too spicy food and not having junk around. These are all like basic things that we can all follow, because if you think about it, our thoughts are simply energy. Our biggest source of energy is food right now, and where does everything get generated from is our food. So the kind of food that we eat has an impact on the thoughts and the emotions that we go through. So it's very important to that way to monitor what we take in, because at this time we're stuck indoors and we cannot distract ourselves easily. So having good fresh food is paramount. So if people are interested, I can point them to material online that will help them identify their types and kind of help them see which food is bad, which food is good. And even from experience, they'll be able to tell. Oh, when I've had these foods, I've not felt good. Oh, when I've had these foods, I've felt good. So they'll be able to categorize that.
Very good. For the purpose of the viewers, we have circulated a set of questions, which survey, which we can answer, based on which a broad classification of their body type is given. And we would be sharing your credentials at the end of this webinar in terms of your, not credentials or your contact details. Viewers can contact you and seek inputs. Am I right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I can definitely guide you towards where you can get more information. I'm training to become a dinacharya. Dinacharya is a daily healthy routine based on principles of Ayurveda. I'm not certified yet, but I know people who are very good in the field. I can definitely guide you to them at the least.
Yes. That's good. That's good. The benefit of the viewers, we will be sharing Mukund's email ID after this program, and you can definitely reach out, answer the questions in the questionnaire. You'll get a fair idea as to what your body type is. With those details, you can contact Mukund. He will be able to guide you to the right thing. So, good, simple food, which is freshly cooked, not very spicy, not very oily, is what you would recommend, and recommend to eat it at the right times.
Yeah. Yeah, and sleep. Yeah, definitely eat at least 2 hours before you sleep.
Okay.
And because after 10, your digestive powers start to tank. So eating by 8 is best, so that your food is digested before you sleep. These are all very normal wisdom that our parents and our culture has given to us, but we've forgotten with all the work life and stress that we have. Just going back to the basics. This
webinar where we want to hear from experts like you how we can bring back ourselves to the rhythm. So you have suggested eating at the right time. Like you said that when the sun is at the peak, that's when our digestive systems are also working extremely well. But also amongst us are people who are working in different time zones, different time cycles. Right. So what is that you recommend and suggest to them?
It is wherever they are. Like noon for me is nighttime for you, so aligning with wherever you are is aligning your cycle with the sun's cycle, wherever you are, is the best way to go. Yeah, I mean, we feel like when we're younger, we're able to do much more. Our body's more elastic, but over time, the more we stress it, at some point it snaps. And the thing is, we are not able to identify the snapping that quickly because it happens so gradually, and it comes to a point where it becomes too late, and we have all these allergies, negative reactions, like we destroy our gut. To be honest, I came to this after such a point. I pulled it to a very extreme where my digestion became very poor, and I had to do all this to get back to normal. So that's been my journey, and that's why I've shared. Yeah.
That's good. So we have, you have suggested one part is basic exercises which we can do at our desktop, and you have suggested a few tips on eating good, and understanding our body type. Coming to the third part of this program, you had indicated that you can give us some guidance and tips on how to meditate, which will help us bring in a balance in our system. So, how would you like to take this forward?
Totally. We can do a guided meditation.
Yes.
I see a question on the group chat. Do I address that now? Or,
please do. Please.
There's someone, Subramaniam, saying that could you give weight gain tips? I'm trying to gain weight. I'm a vegetarian. I just started working out and it's funny because I started working out this last year also, and I'm also a vegetarian. So for me, if you are working out regularly, if you're doing weight training, I've started using plant protein. So there are a lot, at least in the US, there's a lot of good companies that come up with plant-based protein, pea protein, and brown rice protein. So definitely have that after your workouts. And there's a lot of protein-rich foods like lentils. Even in India, you have the soy meal maker and whatnot. Like you can add that instead of meat. It's not to worry about too much about it because, in my opinion, plant protein is richer in the sense that it's more easily absorbed. So even a lower quantity of plant protein compared to animal protein may be better. And there's this amazing new documentary that it's called The Game Changers. I would recommend watching that. They have tips too, and how to, it's all about sport nutrition and how plant-based nutrition is much better than animal-based nutrition. Yeah. so yeah.
I hope Subramaniam has his answers, and yes, he can reach out to you in case he wants some specific details.
Okay, sure. Okay. So
you can take the guided meditation.
Yeah. So what we'll do before we get into meditation, I mean, if it was an interactive audience, many people have tried different meditations. So I just want to put some basic structure around this one. In this meditation that we're going to do, we're not going to focus on anything, not even the breath. So if you look at the mind, constantly we're working the mind throughout the day. When we're at work, when anywhere the mind is being worked. And if you think of the mind as a spring, it's constantly being coiled. And when you sit for meditation, it is normal that the spring will unwind and thoughts will come. You will be disturbed initially. And it's all okay. It's part of the process. So what many people have is, I get too many thoughts. I can't meditate. Having thoughts is something very normal, and you should be having thoughts because any normal human being would have it. So it's completely okay. And what we will do is we won't try to grab onto anything, any thought, or even I'll be giving slight instructions. Just take it lightly. Important thing is to just be with yourself, just keeping the eyes closed no matter what is happening around, and just being with your own thoughts and emotions and trying to be an observer of your thoughts. Yeah? And the founder of the Art of Living, when he teaches meditation, he gives like 3 basic principles before we start meditation. So the 3 things are: for the next 20 minutes or so, I want nothing. Like, I don't even want peace of mind. Okay, we'll just for the next 20 minutes. And since we don't want anything, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to sit still. And for the next 20 minutes, we're going to be nobody. In the sense, we have so many roles that we take on as employees, as sons, as fathers, as spouses, and all of these bring different responsibilities, and they bring a different burden, and they bring a different thought to it. So for the next 20 minutes, we're not going to be anybody. We won't do anything, and we don't want anything. Okay? So we will start with the alternate nostril breathing. And after the breathing, keep the eyes closed. I'll guide you through the meditation. And then I'll ask you to come out at some point and we can end it there. And it'll be best if you can, keep your phones switched off so that, they're not vibrating or they're not disturbing you in any way, or keep them away. And important thing is to have a comfortable place to sit with our spine erect. Yeah? Okay, so we'll start with the breathing. Let's do some more of the alternate nostril. Breathe in, close the right nostril, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left, close the left, breathe out through the right. In right, out left, left. Continue breathing at your own pace, keeping the eyes closed. After completing this round, you can relax your hands, keeping the eyes closed, and sit comfortably and easily. Take a deep breath in, let go. Relax your body. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face. Relax your eyes, eyebrows. Take another deep breath in and relax. Gently become aware of any noises around you. If any. Accept all the noises. Just be in harmony with the environment. Take a deep breath in and relax. Become aware of your body. Your body is a beautiful gift given to you by nature. Honor and respect your body. Become aware of your feet, legs, and knees. Thighs and hip. Stomach and abdomen. Your chest. Shoulder. Hands. Neck. Face. top of your head. Take a deep breath in and let go. Now gently become aware of your thoughts. Whether good or not so good thoughts, let them come. Don't resist your thoughts. Just be in harmony with your thoughts. Take a deep breath in and relax. Gently become aware of your feelings. Whether good or disturbed feelings, let them be. You are peace and you are joy. Take a deep breath in and relax. Aware of your feelings. Your thoughts. Aware of any sensations in your body. Take another deep breath in and let go. And whenever you feel ready and complete, slowly and gently, taking your own time, and open your eyes. How was that?
Wow, really very good. That's
It's just something to. There are many guided meditations online also. You can couple them up with the breathing exercise in the beginning, and just do a guided meditation. My suggestion would be to learn meditation where you can do it without an external aid, and there are courses for that. Art of Living too, where you learn how to do more breathing and how to take your mind into meditation.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
what time do you suggest we should be doing this?
Meditation generally be on an empty stomach, preferably in the morning and once in the evening before dinner. Like twice a day, 20 minutes a day is the prescription. Yeah.
Oh, that's very good. That's very good. So that's very nice, Mukund. That was wonderful. Very nice of you to join us at this webinar. Sai, do we have any more questions? Would you like to put them forth? I think Sai has gone into deep meditation. Well, apart from Subramaniam, whose questions came up on the screen, I'm not able to view anymore. I think,
No, I don't see anyone else. Yeah.
okay. So, in case I would, again, at the cost of repetition, I would tell the viewers that if they have any specific queries, any questions, they can reach out to Mukund on the email which we will share at the end of the program. And to summarize, yes, start with some basic breathing exercises at your desk. Pranayam is a wonderful exercise which will help you get some balance, and it's a stress buster too, which can be done now. Which can be done at the desk. We really don't have to go find a quiet spot. And eating healthy, which is understand what your nature is and eat accordingly. Eat at timings which are meant for lunch or breakfast or dinner. Keep it light, keep it fresh, keep it less spicy. It will help you during these times as well as other times. And meditation, yes, it's a very powerful tool to keep our minds calm, and this is what we need during these challenging times. Thank you very much, Mukund. It was wonderful to have you and great inputs from you. Thanks once more on behalf of Crowd Product as well as on behalf of the viewers. Thank you once.
Thank you for having me. All right, bye.